Okay, hello Math 085 students. I've created several YouTube videos going over the course content, and so this is pretty much how we'll run class. Every video will have a quiz, and that's when the homework will be due also. So how I have this set up is that we'll have 8 quizzes, and we'll have 8 homeworks. Okay. 20% of your grade is going to be the Math 115 grade. So the first thing that we need to know is from Chapter 1. And this is the first worksheet is just essentials and basic concepts for Chapter 1. I guess the first thing is the order of operations. Step 1, do all the operations inside parentheses, brackets, braces, radicals, and fraction bars. Step 2, to simplify any expressions containing exponents or roots as they occur from left to right. And then step 3, do multiplication and division as they occur from left to right. Step 4, do addition and subtraction as they occur from left to right. Problem 1, part A, 64 divided by 8 minus 4 squared times 7 minus 6 squared. So the first thing is 8 minus 4 is 4 squared, minus 6 squared. 4 squared is 16, and 6 squared is 36. 64 divided by 16 is 4 times 7 minus 36. 4 times 7 is 28. Minus 36 is negative 8. Okay? Part B, I've got 3 cubed minus 4 times negative 8 plus the square root of 81 minus the absolute value of 24 divided by negative 8. 24 divided by negative 8 is negative 3. I guess everything else will stay as is. They take care of the powers next, the power of 3 and the power of 1/2. The power of 3 cubed is 27, 3 times 3 times 3. And the square root of 81 is 9. 27 plus 32 plus 9 minus 3 gives me 65 total. Okay. 3 plus 4 times 2 cubed minus 19 minus 11 divided by 4. 19 minus 11 is 8, and 3 plus 4 is 7. So 7 times 2 cubed minus 8 divided by 4. 2 cubed is 8, 2 times 2 times 2. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. 7 times 8 is 56, divided by minus 2 is 54. Okay? The next one, 2 minus 14 plus 4 cubed divided by negative 3 times negative 4 minus 2 plus 3 squared. Okay, so we take care of what's inside the parentheses first. 2 minus 14 is negative 12. 2 plus 3 is 5. Negative 12 plus 4 cubed, 4 times 4 times 4, is 64. And this is negative 3 times negative 4 minus 5 squared is 25. So we get 52 divided by 12 minus 13 is 12 minus 25 is negative 13. 52 divided by negative 13 is negative 4. The next one, 4 minus 9 divided by the square root of 9 plus 16 minus negative 3 squared times 2 divided by the square root of 12 squared minus 13 squared. Okay. 12 squared, 12 times 12 is 144. 13 squared, 13 times 13 is 169. So you get the absolute value of negative 25, which is 5, which is 25. Excuse me. Let's see here. Square root of 25 is 5. Negative 3 squared is negative 9. Now I don't have parentheses around the negative 3. If I did that, like this one here, I would have it's still a well, it would be a positive since I'm squaring the number. Anyway, negative 4 minus 9 divided by 5 plus 18 divided by 25. Okay, negative 5 divided by negative 5 is negative 1, plus 18 divided by 25, so that's negative 7 over 25 is the answer. The next one, negative 5 cubed minus 4 times the quantity negative 6 plus 14 divided by negative 7 plus 6 plus 81 divided by 9. Okay, so negative 6 plus 14 is 8. Negative 7 plus 6 is negative 1. 18 divided by 9 is 9. 8 divided by negative 1 is negative 8. Negative 5 cubed, negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 is negative 125. Square root of 9 is 3. So the square root of negative 125 plus 32 plus 3 gives me negative 90. Is the answer. I made a mistake here, problem 2. Find each value. Part A, the square root of 9 over 49. The square root of 9 is 3. The square root of 49 is 7, so 3/7. Part B, the cubed root of 216. So I need to look at a number cubed. That gives me 216. 6 cubed is 216. So the answer is there is 6. Negative the square root of 144. Negative 12. The square root of negative 144 is not a real number. Okay, so whatever number I square, I always get a positive in that. The square root of 32 times the square root of 2, well, that gives me the square root of 64, which I know is 8. The square root of 63 divided by the square root of 7 is the square root of 9, which I know is 3. 4 times root 5 plus 5 times 10 times root 5. 4 times 10 is 40. Root 5 times root 5 is the square root of 25, which is 5. By the way, the square root of a number times the square root of the same number is always going to be that number. 40 times 5 is 200. And 49 to the 1/2 power is the same as the square root of 49, which I know is 7. Okay. And problem 3, it should be. Simplify the square root of 32. Okay, so I need to think of two numbers. One is that I know the square root of. I know the square root of 16, and I don't know the square root of 2. So 16 and 2, which gives me 4 root 2, is the answer. The cubed root of 32. Well, I don't want to use 16 and 4, since I don't know the cubed root of either one of those. The cubed root of 8 I know is 2. And the cubed root of 4 would be a leftover there. So 2 times the cubed root of 4. Square root of 48. If I use 16 and 3, I know the square root of 16 is 4. And square root of 3 is my leftover, so 4 root 3. The square root of 50 is the square root of 25 times the square root of 2. The square root of 25 is 5. So 5 root 2. Square root of 20 plus the square root of 5. Now what some students will do is they'll call that the square root of 25, which is 5. And 5 is wrong because I'm not multiplying those numbers. I don't even have an operation that says that I can add specifically. The square root of 20 is 4 is the square root of 4 times the square root of 5. Square root of 4 is 2, so 2 root 5 plus root 5 gives me 3 root 5. The square root of 12 plus the square root of 27. Square root of 12 is 2 root 3 plus square root of 27, that's 3 root 3. So 5 root 3 is the answer. Okay, root 5 plus root 11 times root 5 minus root 11. So the nice thing here is that when you FOIL this out, the sign in the middle is different. And so same expression, just different sign. And so root 5 times root 5 is 5. Because the signs alternate, the middle term is going to go to 0. And the square root of 11 times the square root of 11 is 11. So 5 minus 11 gives me negative 6. Square root of 3 plus the square root of 7 squared. Well, that gives me the square root of 3 plus the square root of 7 times another square root of 3 plus the square root of 7, which when I FOIL this out, root 3 times root 3 is 3. Root 7 times root 7 is 7. The outer and the inner terms, I got root 21 plus root 21. That's 2 root 21, so 10 plus 2 root 21. Okay, the points negative 3, 1 and 3, negative 5 are given. Find the exact distance d between the 2 points and simplify the radical expression if necessary. And then round this distance to the nearest hundredth. Okay, the distance formula is something that we learn in the first section of Math 115, 1.2. The square root of, let's see, 3 plus 3 squared times negative 5 minus 1 squared. 3 plus 3 is 6 squared. Negative 5 minus 1 is negative 6 squared. 6 squared and negative 6 squared are both 36. 36 plus 36 is 72. I got the square root of 72, which okay, I could use 8 and 9. I know that the square root of 9 is 3, so 3 root 8. Although root 8 breaks down further. Root 8 is 2 root 2. So 3 times 2 root 2 gives me 6 root 2. Okay? Or the numbers that I'm using here are 36 and 2. I know the square root of 36 is 6. Root 2 is my leftover. And that gives me 8.49. And with 2 points in finding the exact distance each time, give me the answer to basically in simplified form. So it's something like this. I guess if they're asking for a decimal, then round the nearest whatever it is, hundredth. Okay. Problem 6. Plot the points on the rectangular coordinate plane. So 0, negative 2, negative 3, negative 5, 4, 3 halves, and 3, negative 3.2, negative 3.7. Okay, so 0, negative 2. When I start at 0 and go down to negative 2. Negative 3, negative 5. 4, 3 halves. And 2, negative 3.7. Okay, in which quadrant, 1, 2, 3, or 4, is the point -3, -5? Well, that's going to be quadrant 3, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it has to go in that order. So quadrant 3 gives me that point. Problem 7, write the coordinates for each point. Okay, part A, I'm going, you always start off with x. -3, 3 is A. 0, 3.5, we'll call it, is B. 2, 0 is C. 4.5, 2.5, we'll call it. Okay? Let's stop right there.